Death can be an uncomfortable subject, but Deb King speaks about it as easily as if she was telling you what she had for lunch.
I'm not afraid of dying. I'm more afraid of if there's pain involved. But I think talking about death and dying and that process and the ceremony behind it, the celebration of one's life, I think we need to do more.
When we visit her home in Raglan, she shows us her various DIY projects, the crown jewel being a flat pack casket sitting in 4 separate pieces against the wall, which she uses as shelving. The coffin is decorated with maps of places she's been, photos of her as a youngster, and some of her favourite artworks.
Well, I think at the moment, Jules, we'll just put it on the ground.
Her family and friends know how to put it together when she dies. So you don't feel like it's morbid at all? You know, some people listening at home might think that.
No, not at all, no. Get it out of the closet. This is pre-drilled. And then the bottom is an X. So that helps when you're putting it together.
Deb says a no-frills DIY casket will cost between $400 and $500, plus however much you want to spend painting or decorating it. She says people feel obliged to spend lots of money on funerals, even if they can't really afford it.
I think we ride a lot on guilt. I think as a society we don't talk enough about death and the dying process, and I think that has been exploited to some degree.
John Russell and Roger Gardner are part of a Coffin Club in Katikati where they meet once a week to help build caskets for their members. Roger says their aim is to help save people some money while getting them involved in the process.
What we try and do is get members that want a coffin to help with it. I mean, obviously some people have got no idea about using tools, but they can use sandpaper, they can use a paintbrush, and we go from there.
He says they've made all kinds of different coffins for their members.
One we made was like a snooker table. The chap was a big snooker player. So we made a rectangular coffin and he got some green beige and his wife made the pockets and he ended up with a very nice looking snooker table.
John says people have many different reasons for joining.
And some people, they join just to say they belong to the Coffin Club. It's a shock tactic. What are you interested in? Coffin Club, what?
Most people think it's coffee clubs, but rather than a coffin club.
Mr. Russell says it did take a while to get his family on board with his own homemade coffin.
It's a kite cover. I make them fly kites. When the grandchildren came round, I said, I've got something to show you. And I took them out to the garage and said, look at that. And there was a kite cover, which was a coffin. They said, what's that? I said, it's my coffin. It's now normal. And it opened up the discussion about death and dying, and that's probably the biggest point about the Coffin Club.
In terms of what's legally required for a DIY funeral, a casket of some sort is needed to transport the body so it can't be seen by the public. The coffin doesn't have to be lined, but you're responsible for any fluids that may escape, so it might be a good idea. And you need to make arrangements before the body starts to decompose, which will mean keeping it cool if it's not being buried or cremated right away. John and Roger also suggest using natural, untreated wood as it's better for the environment.